The PS5 Pro is in development and has a release window. This comes from Forbes, our main man, Paul Tassi. James, what do we have here?
A new report from Tom Henderson at Inside Gaming says that Sony is indeed doing a mid-generation PlayStation upgrade, the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is currently in development. The report says that first Sony will release a PS5 with a detachable disc drive later this year to cut down on current PS5 costs. And the PS5 Pro is actually a separate unit that may be instead out by late 2024. Further information suggests that Sony has no plans for a PlayStation 6 before 2028. Okay, so this is how the timing lines up.
Yeah.
You got the PS4 release date in November 13th, 2013. You have the PlayStation 4 Pro release date, which was 3 years later, November 16th, 2016.
Yeah.
The PS5 release date is November 12th, 2020, which would place 2023 as the third 3-year gap. But so this is what Paul Tassi goes on to say. He says, if anything, a holiday 2024 release date would be a year later than the Pro upgrade to the PS4 generation. Though that makes some sense, some amount of sense given the massive supply shortages the PS5 underwent during its first two years at launch, which are only just now starting to subside. A 2028 PS6 would also be one more year past the PS4 generation length. But again, due to the supply delays, that lines up pretty well. You just essentially like knock a year off for that supply chain, or like add a year rather.
Those are big problems to overcome.
Chain issue, and then you're back on track, baby.
But James, I got the real question for you: is do we need a mid-cycle refresh? What could they possibly offer in a PS5 Pro that would make you think, I kind of want to upgrade? Like, what would do that for you? What's a selling feature of it?
It would have to have, I think, something more substantial than just a technical refresh. I feel like we're starting to plateau.
Totally.
Technically. Unless we finally hit that 4K 60 consistent. If it can do 4K 60, then that would be it for me.
But
otherwise, I don't understand what else it would be, to be
honest.
We're
living in a world where developers still have to throttle their games for consoles that are on this generation. Like, the Series S, we talk about it all the time. The Series S is like, developers have to release a lower version. We're still releasing things for PS4, what, besides like a PlayStation exclusive to take advantage of the PS5 Pro, like, I don't know what this could be, what this could do. We're not bringing games in 6K, that's for sure.
Do you think a Pro model would somehow lead to a lowering of the price for PlayStation 5, or somehow making the PlayStation 5 more accessible?
I don't think so. I think that's why they're doing the disc drive. That's why it's like, $400, you can still get the PS5, the discless version, but for an extra $50, you can buy a disc drive from Sony or something like that, which is fine. I think that's a great option. By the way, I think that's great. But I just don't quite know, like, how would they market this? Oh, it comes with a terabyte of storage instead of 600 or something like that, right? Great.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good option. Or maybe
But storage isn't going to do it for me. I can upgrade to a terabyte for less than it's going to cost me to upgrade for a PS5 Pro. I could upgrade to 4 terabytes. I think it has to be
size.
Okay, sure.
Slim it down.
They slim it, but are we going to get a slim version too? Are we going to get...
No, I think the Pro would be the slim version, unless they just release them side by side.
That's what they did for the PS4 mid-cycles. They did the slim and the Pro at the same time.
But I think the Pro will still even be smaller than the current PS5.
Yeah, I think you're right too. I think it'll
because they did that for the PS4 Pro too. The PS4 Pro was smaller than the PlayStation 4. I think it was like shorter, but it was a little fatter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm most excited to see the design of this thing. I literally don't know if there's like any feature that is realistic that could come with this that would make me be like, damn, this is it. Unless they say, oh, the disc drive of the PS5 Pro, you're able to put in backwards compatible games to it or something like that.
Oh, shit.
But they already said that it's able to be done on current PS5. It's a software thing, not a hardware thing, which is ridiculous, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird news. I'm kind of excited to see what this is going to be, but I don't think we need it unless they give me a good reason to think that we do. Yeah. What's a price point that would make sense for you? I don't know what it'd be.
Give me... I don't know.
I mean, is it going to be more than $500?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking myself. Because
I mean, VR2,
if it's
yeah,
$500, what's the point about getting a normal PS5 with a disc drive?
none.
Unless their goal is to phase out the PlayStation 5 with the disc drive and lean consumer, they could try and widen the gap and say, okay, we want you to either buy the Pro with the disc drive
Hmm.
or buy the PlayStation 5 discless
With,
and then buy a disc drive after that.
I honestly think that's what they'll do. That seems like it would
Well,
make
do you think, here's
sense
the thing, do
for
you
the
think the
marketing.
PS5 Pro will have a disc drive?
I think PS5 Pro. Oh well, can you imagine it launches the same price as the PS5, but it doesn't have a disc drive?
As a PS5 without the disc drive. And then if you really want the disc drive, you can buy that on top of it to bring the price up to like 550, 600 maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know how much they're going to charge for that disc drive.
it better be cheap. It better be 50 bucks.
Because the Blu-ray, if you buy a Blu-ray player, it's about the same. It's like $100,
Yeah,
which is that's the thing is the disc drive is supposed to be worth the $100 difference between the PlayStation 5 digital and the PS5
and
disc.
these discs are 4K Blu-rays and stuff now too.
Right.
So it's gonna be a
They're
4K
nice.
player. It has to be.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Oh, it'll be very interesting to see. I don't.
Mhm.
I want more details because it doesn't really make too much sense to me. Besides, they always do this in the mid-cycle refresh. Like that's it. That's the only thing that is like clicking for me about this. Even
Mhm.
the PS5 box shows that like 8K sticker. It has that like gold 8K thing on there. It's like there's no way
Yeah.
games are playing in 8K. Like what are you talking about?
No.
What do you mean? So very, very interesting. If you want to know all the details about the PS5 Pro, you can stay right here at Strictly Casual. You can find us on audio platforms if you type in Strictly Casual Checkpoint. It's a little blue box that says Checkpoint. This is episode 153. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.